Hey everyone! Welcome back to the English Hour. I'm so glad you're here because today we're diving into a topic that many English learners struggle with deeply. Failure, more specifically, why failing in English doesn't mean you're bad at it actually. Means you're closer to success. That might sound strange at first. Most people think failure is the opposite of success, a roadblock, or a sign that they're not good enough. But if you look at it the right way, failure is not your enemy, it's your guide. Let me start with a story. When I first started learning English, I remember feeling completely stuck. I would make mistakes every time I tried to speak. Sometimes it was grammar, other times it was pronunciation, or even forgetting the simplest words. I felt embarrassed, frustrated, and even thought about giving up. But then I realized something. Every time I made a mistake, it showed me exactly what I didn't understand yet. Every failure was actually a clue, a signal pointing me toward what I needed to improve. The mistakes weren't stopping me, they were teaching me. Think about it this way: failure is feedback, not punishment. When you speak English and make a mistake, your brain immediately notices the gap. Maybe you misused a word, or the sentence didn't sound natural. That moment is pure gold, because it tells you exactly where to focus your energy. If you never make mistakes, how would you ever know what to fix? Failure is like a teacher giving you personalized lessons tailored only to you. I want you to imagine something for a second. Picture learning English as climbing a mountain. Every time you stumble, trip, or slide down a little, it doesn't mean you're failing to reach the top. Those slips are actually teaching you where the rocks are loose, where the path is safer, and how to take your next steps more carefully. If you never stumble, you might reach the top slowly, or worse, you might think you're going straight when you're actually going off course. Failure is part of the process, guiding you toward the right path. Another powerful idea is that failure builds resilience. When you make mistakes in English, whether it's forgetting a word in conversation, misunderstanding a sentence, or mispronouncing something, it's uncomfortable. But if you face that discomfort instead of avoiding it, your confidence grows. You start to handle mistakes calmly, and you learn not to fear speaking. Resilience in language learning is everything. The more you experience failure, the stronger your mental muscles become. You'll start seeing mistakes not as shameful, but as opportunities. I also want you to understand that failure accelerates learning. Think of every time you stumbled in English as a shortcut. Instead of going through the same problem blindly over and over, your brain flags it. The next time you encounter that situation, you're ready. That's why some of the most fluent English speakers are the ones who made the most mistakes. They learned quickly, they corrected themselves, and they internalized the lessons. Every mistake was a stepping stone, not a setback. Let me share another story. I once worked with a student named Sarah. Sarah was terrified of speaking English because she kept making mistakes in class. At first, she avoided conversations and felt like she wasn't making any progress. But then we shifted her mindset. I told her, every mistake is proof you're learning. Each error is a clue pointing you toward improvement. Slowly, she started speaking more, embracing her mistakes instead of fearing them. Within a few months, her confidence soared. Her speaking became smoother, and she was learning faster than ever before. The very mistakes she once feared became her greatest teachers. Now, you might be wondering how to actually use failure to your advantage. First, don't punish yourself for mistakes. Mistakes are natural. Celebrate them as part of the learning journey. Second, analyze your errors. Ask yourself, what went wrong? Why did I say it this way? How can I say it correctly next time? This transforms mistakes from painful moments into lessons. Third, practice consistently. The more you practice, the more opportunities you have to fail, and the more opportunities you have to learn. Each mistake is a building block for mastery. It's also important to share your failures openly. Speak English with friends, join study groups, or even record yourself speaking. When you expose yourself to real-life conversations, mistakes will happen, but that's exactly when the fastest learning occurs. By confronting mistakes in a safe, supportive environment, your brain adapts quickly, and your confidence grows. I want you to remember this. Failure in English isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of progress. Every time you stumble, you're moving closer to fluency. Every time you make a mistake, you're discovering what you need to improve. Every failure is proof that you're trying, learning, and growing. The people who speak English fluently today were once exactly where you are making mistakes, feeling frustrated, but never giving up. They turned failure into a roadmap to success. So, the next time you feel embarrassed about a mistake, pause and remind yourself this is part of the journey. This is how your brain learns. Embrace it. Analyze it. Use it to get better. Speak more, practice more, and fail more if needed, because failure is not the opposite of success, it's the bridge to it. Thank you for joining me on the English Hour today. Remember, every mistake is a step forward. Keep learning, keep practicing, and never fear failure. It's bringing you closer to English fluency than you realize. I'll see you in the next episode.